Let me tell the Zambian people, I know Robert Chawinga. That is his voice. I know Doreen Mwamba, the Minister of Community. That is her voice. Let me warn the president of this country. Hakainde Hichilema, boy, I pray you're not involved in this.
What's up? My name is Ken Bimbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to JQ.
Well, sincere condolences again to the entire country of Zambia, and specifically to Vamayo, Vaesta Lungu, and the family of the late president, the children, friends, and political acquaintances, and indeed all those that loved the 6th Republican president. Indeed, it is still very sad that as a nation, we still cannot conclude this issue of the burial of the late president. It is unfortunate, and now it is turning out to be a very serious international embarrassment. But I might add that it is also becoming a scandal in view of the recent happenings, more so with revelations by the so-called opposition leader, Robert Chawinga, Honorable, basically confessing and admitting to a scandalous adventure, a criminal enterprise, to try, if not to bribe, a foreign judge in a foreign country. Yet, this, according to him, in this leaked audio, was instigated, initiated by our own president here. And I say this based on the leaked audio. You cannot have a president of a country looking for a particular individual in the name of Robert Chawinga, calling him after 23 hours in the night for over 13 times, the director of intelligence calling Robert Chawinga over 30 times for him to go and conduct clandestine criminal activity, according to his own confession, on that leaked audio in a foreign country. That is unacceptable and totally unbecoming of us as a nation. And I say as a nation because Chawinga kept referring to State House, naming the president, and naming the director of intelligence as being the operatives behind this clandestine activity. Now let me speak legally, Ambassador, here.
Yes.
When we look at criminal enterprise, this is Criminal Law 101. Section 21, 22 of our penal code here lists a principal offender, an associate offender, and indeed an accessory to a crime.
Yeah.
In this particular case, we have Chawinga saying that he's being sent on a clandestine criminal enterprise initiated by State House, controlled by Friday Nyambe, Director of Intelligence, and he has to go and operate in a foreign country. He calls it a very serious mission. Criminally speaking, and I'm saying Criminal Law 101,
Yeah.
anybody involved in this clandestine criminal enterprise is a criminal, because we have a principal offender, an accessory before the fact, and an accessory after the fact. That's the problem we have here. And I'm speaking legally. According to Chabinga, in his own confession, talking to a minister here in Zambia, Mwamba Doreen, Minister of Community, he's telling the minister how he was employed to go into a foreign country and commit an offense. In his own words, wa judge ku South Africa wafuirio kudya. In other words, I should corrupt the judge in the case Yaba Lungu. Now, Chabinga can go and try and deny this, blame it on AI, and every nonsense that he can come up with.
Yeah.
Let me tell the Zambian people, I know Robert Chabinga. That is his voice. I know Doreen Mwamba, the Minister of Community. That is her voice. We are not children here. Chabinga was confessing to committing a crime initiated by our own government. Why isn't he arrested? I have given you the sections 21 and section 22 of the Penal Code. Criminal activities and principal offenders, associates and accomplices are named as to how you associate to a crime. And I am saying, in this particular enterprise, our government, according to Chabinga's own words, is involved in criminal enterprise. That is beyond embarrassment. That is beyond the Vienna Convention. No. Chabinga must be immediately arrested for the criminal that he is. Chabinga Mwacho and Robert, utekanya sana. You are now crossing the boundaries of politics. This is not politics. This is criminality. If you are Puvata to the fire, we should stop embarrassing this country. It's gone on too far. The Director of Intelligence, Friday Nyambe, your job is not to ensure that citizens of this country go and commit offenses in another country. Who told you that that is why we've made you Director of Intelligence? Fionse fifile chitika. All these happenings are very, very damaging to this country. Ambassador, we are beyond redemption in the region in terms of embarrassment, in terms of insult and scandal. It is beyond explanation. Why should our own president, according to Chabinga, instigate a citizen in the name of Robert Chabinga to go to South Africa? In the audio, for those that have listened to this audio, I'm speaking legally here as a criminal lawyer. Chabinga says, when he was asked on the plane by those going to the funeral whether he was going to attend the funeral, he said no. He lied. He said, Renati, I am going to go to Cape Town to attend to a child who had a fractured leg. Avepa, which means he was covering up his own criminal intentions because of the instructions he was given on his special mission. We are not going to be fooled. Those details can only come from a person who was given clear instructions on what he's supposed to do and how he's supposed to execute those instructions. He says further, I told Friday, Mwintumina Transport, when I arrived in South Africa, I did not want the Zambian embassy officials to pick me up because it was going to raise suspicion. All this points to criminality, meaning this was a clandestine operation, so that Chavinga has got access to go and play what he terms now his mingalato with the judiciary in South Africa. How embarrassing can we, as a nation, suffer such indignation, such stupidity? Ukutumpo kwa pulamo ukuseba nye chalo cha Zambia uku ekutumpa uku Chavinga ekutumpa, and all those that are part of this criminal enterprise must be arrested, including Friday Nyambe, because he was the one who was giving the last minute instructions. According to his own audio, this so-called leader of opposition was receiving instructions from our director of intelligence. The director of intelligence had already received instructions, according to him, from State House, because State House had been calling Chavinga for 13 times whilst he was asleep. Now, in law, there can be no serious evidence against a criminal than his own confession. Chavinga has confessed to a crime. Why is he not being arrested? Why is Chavinga roaming the streets of Zambia? Why is Chavinga even being given the opportunity to address the press, trying to defeat his own audio, when we know this is a cover-up because they've been caught pants down? I was in South Africa. I went for the purported burial. We were in the cathedral, that beautiful Roman Catholic cathedral in Berea, waiting for the body of the late 6th Republican president. The Archbishop of Lusaka Diocese had flown to South Africa. Like 2,000 plus other Zambians had flown and driven, plus those of the diaspora who came to join us there, plus the Lungu family, only to learn in the recent past that Chavinga was playing Imingalato. Kutumpa kwa msango shani huko. Now, how do we trust? How do we trust the proceedings that are going on in South Africa? Because Chavinga is saying, whatever the outcome there, he has played his mingalato. Now here's the catch. He says the intention is not even to win the case, let alone the financial, emotional inconvenience to the family and the Zambians at large, but to clean up Hakainde Hichilema as an individual. Let me warn the president of this country. Hakainde Hichilema, boy, I pray you're not involved in this. Because this now goes beyond just breaching the constitution of this country. You cannot be involved in criminal enterprise simply because you're enjoying immunity. It is wrong. And as a nation, we have given you the mandate to run the affairs of this country, not to keep embarrassing us and to be involved in criminal enterprises. That is not why you were elected. I repeat, I pray you are not involved in this thing. So I want to speak to our Zambians and say they must dismiss the press briefing held by my young brother, Robert Chavinga, Honorable, claiming that this was AI. We are not fools. Robert, I know you. I know your voice. I know how you speak. I know your tonations. And I know when you're speaking, niwebo walelanda, wila tumpa. and don't think we are fools. Honorable Doreen Mwamba, you are an accessory to that offense because Chavinga confessed a crime to you and you did not report him to law enforcement. You too are part of that criminal enterprise. You also must be arrested. Ngani mwewe Doreen Mwamba, you don't even enjoy immunity. You're not a president. You're just a minister. Who tells you a minister cannot be arrested? Who tells you that? This power that you are enjoying, don't abuse it. Because I can warn you now. Next year, come August next year, when we kick you out of power, you know where you're going. Friday Nyambe, you as an individual, as director of intelligence, your job is not to commit offenses, is to conduct intelligence for this country, not criminality. You also are an accessory before the fact. Bamwamba, you are an accessory after the fact. Because he was telling you of having committed an offense. In his own words, Chavinga says, Ndimurum pano, I'm still in South Africa. I have just finished Mingalato. What is that Mingalato? What did Chavinga finish? Because in his own words, he was saying, Jaja Fidio Kudia. Meaning, he traveled to South Africa to go and corrupt a judge in a foreign country. The law, the ambassador,
Yes,
fellow
sir.
Zambians,
Yes.
is that any crime committed outside the country of Zambia, as long as it is also an offense in Zambia, it is prosecutable here, although it is committed outside. Because you're a Zambian citizen. That's the law. That's the law. A Zambian cannot commit an offense, which is also an offense here, and think he can escape because he's outside the country. No, he must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This leaked audio has sent shivers, and I shudder to think about how Bamayowa Esther, the children, the Lungu family at large, are feeling. Because the people who are being named in the audio are people we all know here in Lusaka, here in Zambia. The people Chavinga met on the plane, they have confirmed they saw him on the plane on that day. So it can't be AI. Tatulif Puba, I hope this warning goes out to anyone in government who thinks that they can hide under the authority of government. We shall not allow you to embarrass the nation of Zambia any more than you have done thus far. This stops here. And I'm sounding this warning. It's a friendly warning. The law will visit you. Mark my words. The law shall visit you, whether it is today or tomorrow. Umulanduta ubola. A criminal offense has no time of limitation. No statute of limitation can protect you against criminal enterprise. So go and get your best lawyer, Chavinga. Go and get your best lawyer, Doreen Mwamba. Go and get your best lawyer, Friday Nyambe. You three
me know what
do
you
not
think about
enjoy
this video.
immunity.
Thanks for tuning in to
Just know that.
News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.